Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus Davis, and I believe that the Romans was an in-between democracy. Let's get started. Polybius. According to Polybius, the three elements of the Roman constitution were the consul, the commander-in-chief of the military and the top authority, the Senate, 300 men who controlled the finances of the Romans and negotiated the terms of conflict, and the assemblies, the people of Rome who voted to elect the officials that controlled power. In his view, he believed that the constitution the Romans lived by was more of a democracy because the control of who was elected was given to the people, and democracy does mean we the people. I do think that Polybius was a credible source because he was there for a year studying and documenting the Roman constitution, 167 BCE to 119 BCE. Fergus Miller. Fergus Miller focused more on the assembly, the people, and how they made more of an impact of the Romans being a democracy. According to Miller, the people had a lot of rights unless they were not able to participate or belong to a certain subgroup. Three different roles of the people gave them the ability to show how much of a democracy the Romans were. They had the residual role, the election, and the citizens could legislate. Even the passing of laws was done by the tribal assembly, with people having the power to pass laws in the Constitution. But the consul and the Senate had so much power, it's clearly a sign of democracy. Professor Alan Ward. According to Ward, the obstacles that would have kept many citizens from voting is the fact that their vote had to be cast in Rome. If they were living in territories that was not close to Rome and didn't have the expenses it took to get there, they could not participate in any election. The assemblies didn't have as much power as the magistrates in the Senate because the choices of what was being presented was done by the magistrates and the tribunes. Ward's example or argument compared to Polybius is that the assembly did not possess the voting power that a true democratic society would need to be considered a democracy. Ward compared to Miller is that the people did not have power, but most never used it. The people did have power, but most never used that power because they couldn't make it to the polls because of the you must vote in Rome rule. My take on the Roman Constitution is that it was an in-between democracy. The reason I went with this choice is because the reading by Professor Alan Ward. Ward stated that most citizens did not vote because you could only vote in Rome. Imagine how democratic the United States would be if every voter would have to travel to Washington D.C. to cast their vote. On the contrary, I do feel they are democracy in the way that the assembly had the power to propose laws and to vote on who became consul or senate. The fact that all citizens, excluding slaves, had the right to participate, even if you were poor or was born to a wealthy family, is a show of democracy. Polybius felt that the two top tiers of the Roman Constitution wasn't so democratic, like the consuls being more of despotism, and the Senate being more of a aristocracy. But in the end, felt that it all came down to the people, and that would truly make a society a democracy. Thank you.